This boy and girl are going to be well equipped when the time comes to take their places as worthy members of adult society.
Aloha, y'all. This is Daniel Eisenman, the host of the Breaking Normal podcast, where my guests are all invited based on the frequency of synchronicity, all done in person, and all trailblazers in the breaking of all things normal. All right, y'all. We broke normal hard with this one. I've been wanting to interview Pemba Sherpa for years, ever since I've drank his tea. I think I drank this tea like 5 years ago. You've probably had this or seen this at Whole Foods. He has a new book out that I think is super aligned with Breaking Normal, and he is breaking normal. It might have been the shortest interview I've done. I think it was 40 minutes. So we broke normal there. And one of the things I planted the seed at the very end with him was if I can get in touch with some of these yak ranchers he knows, maybe from the Himalayas, to start making a yak tallow balm. This interview is special to me. It was special to me, and this podcast is special to me. And if this podcast is special to you, I have a little gift for you here. Because this tallow balm theme that might be brewing here, I still believe we have the best tallow balm in the world, and it's from these 100% grass-fed, grass-finished American bison, less than 100 miles from us, made from the kidney fat. So the first 3 people that review the Breaking Normal podcast, once this is published, send me a screenshot of your review on to my Instagram. Just send me that screenshot of your review on Spotify here. Since we're doing these full video productions on Spotify, we're looking to grow the tribe here, and you're a part of it. And just send me a screenshot of that review, and I'm going to send you the best tallow balm in the world. And Pemba just took some home, and who knows, maybe by a few episodes from now, we'll have some yak tallow balm available. Check out Pemba's Sherpa Chai. You can just go to sherpachai.com. I trust you love this episode as much as I do. We have a very special guest coming Tuesday, Donnie Dust. Look out for that one as well. Keep breaking normal, y'all. Okay. All right. Welcome to the Breaking Normal podcast. Pemba Sherpa, Everest guide, founder of this right here, Sherpa Chai tea. If you're listening to this podcast, you've probably seen this. It's like all Whole Foods, correct?
Yep, we're in all 515 location Whole Foods.
Wow. And then this, when did this come out?
A few years back.
Because I thought they go so well together, Breaking Normal and Bridging Worlds.
Yeah.
All right.
Start with the B.
So we have lots to talk about in a relatively short period of time. We got about 45 minutes. Thanks for making time and walking down the street from Sherpa's Adventure House.
Yep.
That's your restaurant.
That is correct.
How many, what other projects are you doing currently?
Well, I found and, run the Sherpa Chai, which is pretty big operation now. We are national now. We're in all 515 location in Whole Food, and we're also in thousands of other locations. So that's where I mainly focus, and I run the Sherpa's Adventure Restaurants in Boulder, and I also have a real estate business where I have a bunch of properties where I manage and check things, and then do philanthropy work in Nepal, building bridges, school, hospitals, things like that.
I don't know how you're doing all of this, because I saw you, as usual, a couple times this last week. I saw you at Whole Foods once.
Yep. Getting
ready to sample out Sherpa Chai tea.
That is correct. Yep.
And then I saw you, I think yesterday or 2 days ago at the restaurant.
Yeah.
It seems like you have like multiple people working.
Yeah, I have lots of people working. Yeah. So I kind of basically I mainly go to the Sherpa restaurant, and I used to cook there myself, and Sherpa Chai was born at the restaurant. That's where I start brewing it first. This product was my mother recipe. I used to walk 3 hours to school every day.
Yeah, I was learning a little bit about your story. So you were born.
I grew up in Everest region of Nepal, remote village called Sengma. Just 10 houses, no electricity, no plumbing, no running water. I mean, it is a world way from I live now.
And what's the altitude of
It's a
that?
10,000 feet is
So you
where
were
I grew
born
up.
10,000
Right.
feet high with nothing
Yep.
except your family.
Yep.
Eh.
And I used to walk 3 hours to school every day.
At 10,000 feet elevation,
Yep.
3 miles one way.
No, 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours. How many?
Whatever mile. I don't know exactly how
I
many
have a
miles
feeling that was a
is.
lot longer than
Yep.
3 miles, knowing how fast you can.
Yep.
Because how many times have you been to the
Yeah,
top
and
of
I'm
Mount
not-
Everest?
I actually haven't been to top,
You haven't.
but I've been on the Everest, yes,
Okay.
and many times, yeah. But I didn't go to top because I get client sick or people get. Well, I always had to come back. Yep.
Wow. All right. So I know I'm bouncing around here, but so you were born there with your family with 10 huts, you said?
10 houses.
10 houses.
Yeah. But anyway, I used to walk 3 hours to school every day, one way.
Starting
one
at what
way.
age? Like 5, 6?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Wow.
And I'm not making that up. If
So
you came to my village, I will always show you the trail.
What was the trail
Yeah.
like? Tell me
I mean,
about
it's
that
just-
3-hour hike.
It's a rough trail. In monsoon time, it's a little hard because the rain and mud and whatnot. But other than that, it's not too bad. It's a pretty straightforward trail. But it's still pretty, up and down.
Rivers.
Yeah.
What wasn't there a river that you had to cross?
Yep.
Because I was learning, and then there was a bridge. Tell us about this first.
Well, they make a makeshift bridge.
A sheep
Right?
bridge.
Makeshift bridge, which gets swept away by the water, monsoon river every year.
Oh,
right?
it was a cheap bridge.
Makeshift mean temporary bridge.
Oh, okay, and then it would get swiped out.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, when that bridge gets swept away, that's where we have to do the long walk. Right?
Okay. When it gets
Long walk.
swept away, you have to do a long walk.
Long
Okay.
walk. And one day I was walking to school, and a colleague of mine fell on the river, on the bridge. I mean, we were crossing, he just fell. And then it was gone. And whole villagers come down, and the people are screaming and chasing his body going, floating down in the river. And since then, I told myself that I'm going to build good permanent suspension bridge there, right? And I did. That was about when was it? About almost 30 years ago. After I came to the U.S. and made some money and whatnot, and did some fundraising, and went back and built a permanent suspension bridge. And kid now can get to school in half hour.
Oh.
And for the villagers and people that go in the market and whatnot, I mean, these are lifeline.
And it still stands today?
Oh, yeah. After
Wow.
the earthquake, I went to check it out to see my bridge is okay, and it's perfectly fine. And that bridge going to be there for, I don't know how many years, but hundreds of years. I know it's going to be in there because it's a cable that bolted in a rock wall.
Wow.
So,
All right.
it make me feels good. And that's one of the definitely best project I've done in Nepal.
When did you move you first moved to Boulder?
In 1991.
1991, and you were-
I was living in Denver.
So that you were 20 years old?
Yeah, around there, yeah, like 19, I think.
All right. So you moved to Denver with your family or by yourself, or what brought you to
Yeah,
Denver?
Well, I was a guide in Nepal, right?
Okay, so you were guiding in Nepal.
Yeah, I was guiding some of the highest peak. I was leading climb to some of the highest peak in the world, including Everest back then. In my age of like 1920, that's what I was doing. Yeah, and when I was guiding, I was curious about the West all the time. And I knew people here. I've guided people from Boulder, Denver area.
Okay.
Yeah, and I flew out here and asked those, them like, hey, can I crash in your house for a couple of days?
From the people that you met.
Yeah.
And was
And
your
they were able to-
was your intention to come here to raise money to build that bridge, or what?
that wasn't my intention.
What was your intention?
My intention was to explore the West, right? Because I was always curious about the West. And I came out here, and of course, there's more opportunity here. People like me who are willing to work hard and willing to do things, right? So I saw more opportunity here, and I stay here. And I started an adventure travel company, and I was partnered with the Colorado Mountain Club, the Sierra Club, the American Alpine Club, and many big organizations. And I mean, and I had an office in Tanzania, I had an office in Kathmandu, I had an office in Bhutan, and literally, I mean, I was guiding thousands of visitors to many parts of the world, mostly in my beloved Himalayan kingdoms. But that's what I did for many, many years, and and then the 9/11 came, and you heard about that kind of killed the tourism industry, adventure or travel general industry here in the U.S. And then, of course, like over 60% business I was doing in Nepal. And if you heard about the Maoist rebel group in Nepal, I mean, that group really killed the tourism business.
Hmm.
And between those two things, things kind of crashed down. I mean, the whole travel industry kind of crashed down, right? And then, and then I was looking for some business opportunity. I was really into, technical climbing. I was competing with some of the best climbers in the world, and and Boulder, Colorado was a perfect place for me to live, to do like what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's all within a mile or two.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I was searching some kind of business opportunity, and I saw a need for the Sherpa's restaurant, good Nepalese authentic food here in town.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I opened the restaurants, and it's been what, about 24 years, and today we're one of the best eatery place in town. And then I started the Sherpa Chai, and I was doing some real estate, and then I was just kind of keep thinking maybe, well, I go back to Nepal and do something really into the adventure kind of things, like. So one thing I like to do is I like to fly airplane, and I was gonna train and get my pilot license and then go fly over in Nepal. Have you seen the Twin Otters? It's got a two propeller in the front and has simple cockpits, and they carry about 18, 19 peoples, and they designed it to land, I mean, like really short field land,
Okay.
short field, and take up and they. So I was gonna possibly maybe take a couple of those planes back in Nepal and kind of start my own little operation there and drop off trekkers and climbers to like and the villagers to like this many those remote villages and play. And I was gonna take a couple tune otters over there and start my own little airlines things there. And then they keep kind of going down with with politically and corruptions and whatnot there. And then I finally decided, no, it's not for me anymore. So I decided to stay here, and then just keep uh, doing business here. And then I started Sherpa Chai, and that's really taking off. People love these products. The tea leaves that came from the Kanchenjunga Valley. You know what Kanchenjunga is? It's the third highest mountain in the world. And we have a tea farm there in the base of the mountains.
Oh wow.
So
that's where this
Yep.
tea is coming
Yep.
from.
It's a very high quality premium organic tea leaf. And the ginger root is from Peru, cardamom, cinnamon, black pepper, all certified natural products.
Yeah, this is great
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yeah.
Except the citric acid. Why is citric acid in there?
To keep a shelf life. And lemon juice is not really bad.
Is it really just lemon juice? Is that
citric acid is really a lemon juice?
well?
It's not
Sometimes
bad. Yeah.
I think sometimes it can be made, and sometimes it's from a fruit.
As far as I know, this is made from lemon juice.
I would
The
like
one
to-
we use is made from lemon juice.
Well, I know I've had this tea at your restaurant. It's amazing. And your restaurant is one of my. If my family was visiting, for instance,
Yep.
I would want to take them to your restaurant because it has a family house vibe.
Yeah, thank you. And this really is my mother recipe. I mean, before I left every morning to school, my mom would make me this drink, and it is our tradition.
Would she make it with yak butter
Yak
or
milk.
yeah? She would make it
Yeah,
with yak
yeah,
milk.
yeah. Nak is what we call,
I
but yeah.
want how can do you drink yak milk currently? Is there anywhere to get
No,
yak milk?
not here, but in the fall I did. Yeah. But anyway, it's the same recipe that I was serving at my restaurants, and I was serving to the customers for gallons every day. And people, they were keep telling me to bottle it. And I do some research, and I discover there is no authentic chai out there in the market, and there's a huge market for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that, and I just grabbed it, and we are now people are loving it. Anybody who are a chai drinker, they would love my product.
Did you
Yeah.
get some support? Because with my company, Tribe Vitamins, there's like we have a lot in common.
We do have common. Yes.
We have first of all our children.
Yep.
You have two, I have
Yeah,
one, but
yeah.
there's something with our families that are
Yeah.
interesting. I also did an adventure retreat company for 10 years
Okay.
when I graduated college with my brothers.
Okay.
And now I'm aiming to bring something that I understand that indigenous people have used for a very long time,
Right.
and gotten a lot of support from, and it wasn't available.
Yeah.
100% grass-fed bison liver.
Right.
But how did you get Sherpa? Like everyone that's listening to this has probably had your tea,
Probably,
whether
yeah.
at a coffee shop or a lot of times they don't even know they're having it. Because like if I go to a local coffee shop, if I get
Yeah, almost-
chai tea, then
Yeah, almost every coffee shop in Boulder have my products.
So how did you
Sherpa
make
Chai.
that leap as an, I didn't know what all we're going to talk about, but I'm very curious is that you are a hard worker, you have perseverance. How did you get from just making your mother's recipe at a local restaurant to getting all the way to Amazon and Whole Foods?
Whole food. Well, the products, I mean.
Did you have like a partner? Did you have like an
No,
investor, or did you?
No,
Did,
not
how
really.
did
I
you-
mean, some of the people, they own some shares in the company. The people that I work with, they own a little share. But I'm still the majority founder and majority owner of the company. But I mean, this is my idea, and it's a product that I drink since I was infants. And
An infant. They give you
well,
caffeine, black tea caffeine as an infant.
They give chai to kids in Nepal all the
Interesting.
time. But like mothers, they give little kids chai
Oh
all the time.
wow! I want to try it with the
Yeah,
yak milk in Nepal.
But anyway, and then later I became a mountain guide, and this product was my go-to drink. My go-to drinks in the mountains, and I came out here. I started serving at my restaurants, and I believe in the products, and I saw the market, and I started bottling it, and now we're exporting it.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think your brand, your restaurant, your vibe, and you are amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And my plan is to like keep growing this and make some money and help countries where they need help. That's kind of my golden plan.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
54.
54.
Yep.
You look like you might live to 100
Well,
plus.
maybe. My mom is 96 and she's walking 1 mile every day right now.
Where's your mom at right
back
now?
in Nepal.
I want to go. Can I go meet your mom and get some yak milk chai tea from her?
Yeah, of course.
When do
She
you
would
when
love
do you
that.
when do you go back?
I go back because my mom is old. I go back like every few months.
Wow.
Just, there's two people in my life. They loves when they see me. It's my mom and my dog.
What's your dog's name?
Sugar.
And what type of dog is
He's
Sugar?
a Bichon.
Okay.
Yeah, they go crazy when they see me.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, do you think there's some secret to you and your mom's health?
Just looking at my mom, I definitely have a good gene, which kind of appreciate me. But I don't drink, I don't smoke. I exercise. Regularly. I rode 50 miles yesterday on the bicycle.
Okay.
I climb. I used to be like, competitive runners. I ran 15, 17, 15 minutes, 17-second, 5 kilometer one time.
A
You know,
15, what was that?
15-minute, 17-second, 5 kilometer.
Oh, wow,
I mean,
wow, wow. When did you do that?
that was when I was young and stupid. I ran Kilimanjaro up and down in one day.
Okay,
So I was, I done ultra marathons and I was in that level. And I keep staying active. I stay active.
do
So
you have
that's
like
the
a
key.
ritual, or you just do what's fun? Or like, are you trying to run a certain amount or bike a certain amount? And you're like, ah, this feels good.
I do it something every day.
Every day
And
something.
yes. And it's good for my body, for my mind, and for my soul. It make me a different person when I exercise. It's important for me, I find.
And then what about for water or food? Because I'm imagining the water your mother's drinking it's probably like just, what is it, mountain water, just mountain spring water?
Yeah, clear crystal glacier water.
Okay.
They just came straight from the mountains. We
Nothing,
didn't drink well.
no one treating anything.
No, we
So what
drink good
about
water.
you? What do you drink water for here in Boulder?
Tap water
You drink tap water
all
here?
the time. I don't drink bottled water. I just drink tap water.
Well, really?
Totally fine with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yep. And
Have you ever had this spring water from like Ward or the local towns? This just straight from the spring? It's
not
pretty
really.
good.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to bring you some?
Okay.
Let me get you some spring water and see what you think. You might like it with the tea as well to make
Okay.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. The real estate business. I didn't even know you did real estate.
Yeah.
You mean like you have like buy and sell homes, or what do you have?
I'm an investor, so
Do you do investments here in Boulder for real
Yeah.
estate? Yeah, this is an interesting market we're in.
Yeah, we are. I made lots of money from it. I don't know what that means. I mean, I own 10 houses in Boulder County here, and all those houses I bought it right on when they were about 400,000 or 500,000, and they're all over $1 million now. I think I can sell it for over $1 million. But then I will sell it someday. And
that's probably helpful too for like reinvesting money from the Sherpa Chai. Is that helpful for tax reasons and stuff?
Not really right now. I just keep it. I don't sell it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I live real simple. I don't need much money. I have I don't need much things. I go to the mountain and I'm perfectly happy. And it doesn't cost me money to go to the mountains. Doesn't really cost me that much money. So yes, I'm doing this business. I know my chai has a huge potential. I probably will make some big money one day. And but what you gonna do with it? But one thing I'm gonna help in those who are really in need. And make some changes in the world if I can with that money. Otherwise, I mean, one day we're all gonna die, right? And we can't take it with us, right? So what's the point of making all this money, right? That's how I see them, and that's how I look at them. But doing something's good and effective, it's good, right? That's why I'm keep working and wanted to do something meaningful things down the road. And I'm doing a little bit now, but I want to do more.
Well, my podcast here, this is probably about my, I don't know, 170th episode. And I love doing this podcast because I get to people like you, which is no one else. But I just feel like you are a very unique, inspiring individual. And the fact that I have this space for you to come tell a little bit about your story is extremely meaningful to me.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I've seen you around town for years now. Yeah. And it's just obvious to me how everything you've said, how simple you are, and you don't need much, and you work hard.
I do work hard, yes.
You are a hard worker.
Yep.
How much do you sleep at night?
Well, I sleep good 7-8 hours.
7-8 hours.
But I do work hard.
Well, and it makes sense of when
and it's good, and that make me feel good. I believe on this, and I think it came from a gene too. My mom was a hardworking person, very hardworking person, and and it's a good, it's a healthy thing, I think.
Well, if you were born 10,000 feet high in a small village without electricity
Yep.
and walking 6 hours
Yep.
back and forth to school,
Yep.
it reminds me of something that when I've traveled a lot, and not to the places you've traveled. We've
Yep.
traveled in different places.
Yep.
But I remember being in Nicaragua,
Yep.
and a place that didn't have almost
Yeah,
sounded similar.
I'm sure somewhat similar to where I grew
Yeah,
up, but we know the condition where I grew up is a lot more harsh because of the mountains,
yeah, exactly.
and the environment.
But these
Yeah.
kids, they looked like they were what people in Boulder would
Yep.
say are they're poor.
Yeah.
These are kids in poverty.
Yeah.
And they looked so happy.
Yep.
And I think my brother asked the
Yep.
local driver, like, man, it seems like these kids have nothing, but they are so happy. And the driver was like, yeah, it's an interesting thing. It seems like the less someone has, the less they need.
Yeah. Well, I mean, reflecting my life, I mean, yes, I missed lots of opportunity, like the privilege you had. Simple things like access to school or access to library or hovering educated parents, right? We didn't have those. I didn't see a book till I was like what, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old till I start going to school. We didn't have none of those. The condition we're living in, and like we're talking about all basic things, that people take granted in here. So I miss out all those things, the opportunity that people had or you had here, right? But in the same time, I'm glad I grew up there. It gave me today, it gave me different perspective in life. I know what wealth means. I know what poverty means. I know what suffering means. I know what struggling means. I know what abuse means. I experience it all. And that give me different perspective in life, which lots of people don't have here in the West, I think. That's why I think people from the West is good to like go travel different part of the world and maybe perhaps like be still with family a week or two, just to experience and get a little more perspective, Like there's so many wealthy people in the United States, right? Never happy, always wanted more, right? So what's the point, right? So if you're so wealthy and you don't see the value and you don't see the, you're not helping other people's or, you know. So that's how I see this. Yeah.
When in need, plant a seed. And I think a lot of people need to experience what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I like this idea of you being driven by wanting to help other people.
Yeah.
And not needing much yourself.
Yes. I mean, everybody have a different beliefs. And my belief is that the surest path of meaningful life is, helping, acting for common good, That's my belief. And I believe more people should do this, especially the United States, there's so many people there in position to do that,
I guess I'm just picturing so many people working so hard to make money, or at least to make it look like they're making money for this status, to think it'll be what makes them happy. And what I'm hearing from you is maybe what'll make those people even happier is to find someone that needs help, and maybe somewhere else in the world. And why don't you work towards that? That seems like a better path of happiness than trying to prove something to everyone on social media, for instance.
Yeah. And the one thing that I find is that, I mean, especially in the West, generally, that people are so attached to so many things, and I think attachment is not good. It's a stinky desire, I think people should loosen up that a little more,
you've been around the world to a lot of different places. Where any recommendations for someone that's like, yeah, I want to go do that. I want to go take a trip where it's educational to me, where I might get to
Go to Nepal. You know,
go to Nepal.
yeah, come to Nepal. You know, I don't guide, but my good friend guides every year, and she go back to Nepal and take these running groups, and then afterward, and then do the trek and stuff. And you know, I just help her out. So we go back every year, every March. So if people wanted to join my, you know, her group, which I will be part of it, you know, we go back every year, and you know, we bring people to very inside of it, showing the culture and whatnot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
And Bridging Worlds, where do people get this?
you can get in my Sherpa Chai website, and which, by the way, you know, I want to award the Colorado Book Award here, and one other award. So I won 2 awards now, and then the publisher based in London called Pegasus. That's one of the biggest publisher in the world. They picked it up, and they're going to be publishing this book and distribute to 30 different countries.
Wow.
Super excited.
Um,
Yeah, and all this book sales will go to the kids to go to school in Nepal. Yeah, that's my plan.
SherpaChai.com.
People can buy there. Yes.
Can I sign Breaking Normal for you, and you can
Yeah,
sign this for me?
of course.
And then before that happens, this is I did want you were asking me about this tallow balm.
Yeah.
We make this out of pure bison fat,
Yeah, that's what you
and
told
it's
me.
the best skin moisturizer. Now, what my pitch to you is, let's get this made from some yak fat, because the yak are
Okay.
don't the yak have maybe richer fat, potentially
true,
richer
yes.
fat because of the high altitude.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
Do people ever do anything with yak lungs in Nepal? Have you ever heard of that? Is it any kind of medicine made from yak lungs?
You know, I don't know.
Because yak
I
lungs are
probably do.
different. I think they have like extra lobes. And
How do you spell your name?
Daniel is Daniel.
Okay.
And you could put Anta Divina, my daughter, because you know my daughter.
And Bino, right?
Divina is Divina.
D-I. Is it Victor?
Victor. Yep.
Yeah, B.
I-N-A.
Okay.
Yep. And we both love your restaurant, by the
Yeah,
way. You see
thank
us there
you. Yeah,
quite
yeah,
a
I
bit.
see you there a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is yours. And if you want to, these are just like some leftover I had at the house. Would you want to try some bison liver before your next workout?
Sure.
Yep. You can have the rest of my bottle.
Okay.
This is my bottle. This was stuff I was using, but those are both for you as well. Anything you want to say to the tribe here, the Breaking Normal tribe here, before you go on to your next hard work?
Yes. I like everybody to try my Sherpa Chai and see they like my product.
What's the best place to get that? Can people?
You can get them in Whole Food, King Super, Safeway, Sprout, Natural Grocers. Easy to make. You put half milk, half the tea. You just heat it up. Super easy. Or half milk, half tea. Put some ice in it.
Or some yak colostrum.
Yeah, ice chai is very refreshing in summertime.
It's good. It's good. I like it to sip on. Like just if I'm say like reading a book at your outdoor patio.
Yeah.
Sipping on that chai tea is something special.
This is for you.
I got you too.
Yeah.
Well, Yuval, thank you. How long are we in?
31.
Oh, 31 minutes. All right. You got any questions for me?
No, it's interesting what you're doing, you know. I mean, making this product from, you know. But I'll try it and see how it is.
You know, there's yak ranches.
Up in Ganeshan, I think they have one.
And right above here, off Magnolia Road.
Oh, really?
Last time I went up there, they were giving birth.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
it was incredible. And I guess like the mother yaks like hit the. Have you ever rode a yak? Have you ever been on a
I
yak?
have been ridden, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
When's the last time you did that?
That was when I was in Nepal. You know.
What is there muskox? Have you heard of that? A muskox? Is that the same thing as a yak, or is that different?
That's different. Yeah.
Do you eat all parts of the muskox or the yak? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, it's like any other animal.
what do they do with the organ meats?
You got me. I don't know.
What about the testicles? People eat the yak testicles?
Yeah, they do.
Who
Uh,
eats those, or what? Is there like a
yes,
ceremony or anything, or
no, just generally.
do they cook them or
Yeah.
eat them raw?
No, they cook 'em.
Cook
Yeah,
'em.
yeah.
What's your favorite food and your favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Oh, my favorite food? I got lots of favorite food. You know, I mean, I like the food from Nepal because I'm from there. The foods are very spiced, very perfectly. It's no boring. Uh, but I like generally every food, all food.
And then what about traveling? Because I've been to all 50 states and about 20 something countries. Is there like a place that you're like, this is the best life I've ever seen, or this is the best place this is the best place to live I've ever seen?
Best place to live. I mean, the United States is a great place to live, I think. I mean, there's so many beautiful places. The roads are good. The pollutions, there's no pollution, right? Compared to like many Asian countries, like I've been to Delhi, I've been to Kolkata, I've been to Shanghai, I've been to Bangkok, even Kathmandu. I mean, the pollutions are so bad. Compared to that, the United States, the pollution is nothing here. Roads are big, you know, I mean, lots of beautiful national park, lots of good climbing, lots of good biking, you know. I think the United States is fantastic place to live. And, something about the greediness and cultures, it doesn't really click me, You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That people wanted to have more and more and more.
Yeah.
And, like it's all about me, me, me. And one thing that I miss where I came from is I was just in Nepal like a few weeks ago, and I went to the village where I grew up, right? And I built the hydropower, and I've done lots of good things to the people in village there, help them out. But as soon as I get there, this lady was working in the field. I don't know, taking pictures or whatever she was doing. She would stop doing what she was doing, and she was running up the hill to meet me to serve some tea and whatever, right? Like some food. And when she do that, she really mean it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
the warmness of the culture. I miss that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But here in the United States, people say, "Oh, I mean to call you. Oh, you're looking great." Uh, you know, I feel like those are all just lie. People don't really mean it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just shallow. You're looking great. All those things are just, people just say it. They don't really mean it. Make sense?
Well,
You kind of get it what I'm
I
trying to
trust
say?
that's one of the reasons you're here,
Yeah,
is because when I've told you things, I trust you feel like I mean it.
yeah,
But I do know what you're talking
yeah.
about. And I do think that's one of the ways I'm aiming
That's
to break normal
yeah,
here,
yeah.
is to
It's
mean
just
what we say. And,
yeah,
and even if it's a scary,
yeah,
but I feel like that's arguably the purpose of life,
right,
is for me to live it to the fullest,
right.
serve other people, and take notes out loud. Like tell you the most meaningful things,
Yeah,
and make that the point of our communication.
yeah,
Not to manipulate or coerce, or what can I get more from you, or vice versa, or
right.
how can I look cool,
Mm-hmm.
or how can I have a good reputation.
Yeah,
So I think I know
yeah,
and I have been to other countries where it's not exactly like that.
yeah.
Jamaica was pretty amazing to me.
Okay.
We hung out with the locals there for a while.
All right, right.
A lot of times, the only thing I could see was the tip of their joint.
Yeah, yeah,
It was so dark in Jamaica,
yeah.
where we were at, and the people are so dark, and it was like I remember just hanging out with these guys, and all I could see was their lit joint. They love marijuana in
Yeah,
Jamaica.
really?
They love
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Is Nepal, do they
Oh,
smoke hash, or is it a
yeah, 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 yeah. Kathmandu. I mean, that's where it started back in, I think, 70s or 80s.
hmm,
It's a big, hippie place to hang out and do that stuff. I mean, I never tried it.
Never,
done
you've
it.
never smoked anything?
No, I never done it.
Because a lot of times I see these like crazy videos of Sherpas like on the mountains
Many Sherpa do
smoking.
smoke cigarette. Yeah. And yeah, but I never did.
Hmm.
Never did it, you know?
Yeah.
And my dad was alcoholic.
Okay, that maybe that was a turn off.
I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old, and I was telling myself, I'm not going to be like my dad.
Where's your dad?
He died many years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was real small.
You're really young.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're a dad,
Yeah.
and I think you're going to be a dad for a long time,
Yeah.
breaking normal and bridging worlds. And
Yeah.
I just can tell. I mean, I can just tell that you are such a hard worker. Last question. What's the most dangerous thing you've ever done? Or the most,
I've done it in many dangerous
was there ever a
things.
moment where you're like, this is
Oh,
it?
yeah. I've been buried in the avalanche.
You've been buried in an avalanche?
Yes.
Where?
In Annapurna.
Wow.
Yep. I've done, I guided 30 years in the Himalayas.
That's what I'm saying. I imagine you've had a lot of dangerous moments. Was that the
Yes.
scariest? The
I
buried?
fell on a crevice. I got frostbitten. See, I got some crooked finger
Oh,
here.
wow. Wow.
I got some crooked toe in there. I've been in all kind of situations, and I believe I'm a survivor. I grew up in Danielle, I grew up in really poverty, and my mom had 12 children, and only 5 of us alive. I survived among those kids.
Where were you in the order?
In the middle.
Where are the ones that are living now?
Some here, some back in Nepal. Yeah.
In the United States or in Boulder?
They live up in the Crested Butte.
On Crested Butte.
Yeah,
okay. Wow. Do they do similar business as you?
No, they work.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you do if you don't work?
When I don't work?
Since you said they work.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh, I work too.
Okay. But they work for someone else is what you mean?
They work for someone else.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
Well, anything else from me?
I think I covered everything. I mean, it was good talking with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to go on an adventure with you one day.
Let's go Nepal. Every March we go back. My friend guides it, and I go with her, and I help her out. We go cool places.
What do y'all do? How long is the trip?
It's about a few weeks.
And
US to US.
What are y'all hiking, or is that part of it?
Yeah, we do hike and we explore some cultural things, and like many tourists does, but we go in more off the beaten path. And we bring people to more inside of it.
I had this idea when I was traveling once in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I was on my 22nd birthday, and I kept thinking that a tourist goes to see the sights,
Yep.
and a traveler goes to be part of the scene.
Yeah.
And it sounds like y'all are doing some real traveling out there.
Yep.
And the best way for someone to learn about that trip would be just to go to sherpachai.com and send you a message, or what?
Yeah, you can just go to sherpachai.com and send me messages there for me. Well, you stop by the restaurant and Yeah.
All right. Pemba.
Cool.
See you at Sherpa's.
Yeah.
Keep breaking normal.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
right.
man. All right. I don't think Pemba would approve of this, but I'm going to try the chai, just pure concentrate. No milk, no yak colostrum, no yak butter, no cream. Let's just give it a little shot here. And then this is your reminder. It's not too late. Go ahead and leave that review. Send me a screenshot of it, and you can start pairing some tallow with this chai. It's so good. It's so good and rich. I could see how though a little cream would go a long way. I apologize, Pemba, if you would not want me to do this, but I had to. And it's going in some raw milk tonight. It's going to go in some raw milk from Andre or Alice from Jacob's Farm or Golden Hoof. If you haven't checked out those 2 previous episodes, those 2 are about as sharp as it gets in the regenerative agriculture world, and doing it in a breaking normal way. So I'm looking forward to knowing about how you're breaking normal. Send me that message. Let's go.